Good morning, everyone. Let me unmute all of you because I think I have you all muted. Yep. Hi, how are you guys doing? Good. All right, who's the Dark Knight? Is that Sam? Jeremy. All right, Sam's the XOO. Okay. How are you guys doing? You guys survived your whole morning of classes? A little bit different, isn't it? Yeah, it's a little different. All right, so a couple things. During our hour, we're actually only going to be like about 30 minutes each day. But during this 30-minute time, if you have a question, you can always raise your hand. I can obviously see it on the screen. But sometimes we're going to do screen sharing, which we'll do in a moment, where I'll show you like some PowerPoint slides of what we're going to talk about today. And when that happens, we need to be able to, I probably won't see all your screens, so just put your hand up. There's a button that says raise hand, lower hand. You can push that, and that will get my attention if you have a question or you'd like to say something. Starting tomorrow, I would like everybody to put their faces in the screens. So that means we're going to see you so we can interact back and forth. So those of you who are choosing different things, tomorrow you need to start bringing yourself into it. If you don't like your background, let's say you do it in your bedroom and you're like, oh man, I'm so humiliated by my bedroom. Well, before you come in, I like your background, Jessica. I thought that's pretty. Anyway, before you come in, you can go to the settings portion and choose an advanced setting in your background, advanced background, or enhanced background. It's called enhanced background. And you can either drop in things like I have. We went to Hogwarts today because, I don't know, I thought like we should fly somewhere. So Hogwarts is where we went today. But you can choose anything for your background if you would like. Just change it up and, cover up your background. If you don't want to show your bedroom, you can do that instead. But that means you'll have to start getting dressed, you'll have to shower, and come join us. It's probably a good thing anyways. With this confinement, we can enter this routine and come out of it as big round blobbies. And if we don't want to be big round blobbies when this ends in a month, we probably should get dressed and find a routine in the schedule to get us motivated and get us moving. All right, but the point of Zoom is for one-on-one interaction. So I want to see your faces. We want to make contact with each other. We want to be able to talk back and forth and interact. All right, so if that means that you have to get up and shower, then we should probably get up and shower. Get dressed, get ready, feel better about yourself, and meet the world this way anyway. So this is the only way we're going to meet the world for another month. Can you believe that? Another month. That's nuts. How many of you are excited about that? I'm going to, I guess by your faces, no. Yeah, I don't think too many of us are really excited about that. All right, I muted you all so you could say, no, I'm not excited about that. All right, oh, we even get little baby. All right, well, today we're going to just go ahead and dive into this. Since I did get to meet with you guys on Friday, I'm going to mute you so we're not distracting each other. There you go. All right, so Friday we did kind of come in and already discuss, how the hour is going to operate. So today we're just going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to start with a little bit of screen sharing. I want to just remind you about ThinkWave for a moment. That, of course, this is where we'll now be uploading all of our assignments. So you want to be sure that you are familiar with this. Fortunately for us, for our class, we've been doing this all throughout the school year, so that makes it a little bit easier. But be sure that you're remembering that. You come to ThinkWave, choose the assignment, upload your item, and then you're done. All right, so sometimes, like in this case, right now I have debuted for you the essay. That's still going to be due. It's that 5-paragraph essay explaining why the wedding guests in the Rime of the Mariners, the sadder and wiser man after hearing the Mariner's story. So if you forgot, you might have to go back and browse over that story again, but you have until Friday to get your 5-paragraph essay done. To be honest with you guys, yours should be done. We were done before the break happened, so you just need to turn it in. But now we need to turn things in by uploading it. You could take a picture if you hand wrote it and upload it that way. If you have ThinkWave on your phone, you can take a picture and just choose that picture and upload it. If you typed it, which would be preferable because I can read it more easily, but I'll take either way. If you typed it, then you just go there, choose a file from your computer, and send it up. Of course, Word documents are the most easily transferable from any program, from my program, your programs, any of them. Word documents are probably the most easily uploaded ones. So you probably want to choose that if you can. All right, so that being said, you want to be sure you're familiar with that and remembering how to take care of that. So Friday, this is your first thing that's really coming up and due. That's this essay on the Mariner. Again, hopefully you did that already and you're already ready to go with that. So that's your biggest project. So for now, let's go ahead and start into a little bit of grammar. So I'm going to give you just a moment to open up your grammar books. Page 72, let's do your workbook because your handbook, I'm actually going to show you a PowerPoint slide for that anyway. So just open up your grammar workbook, page 72. This is one of the reasons why I want to be able to see your faces on the screen so we can interact and I can see if you're turning your book there, that you're getting ready, that you're doing the work with us, not just opening up your computer and working at Burger King or wherever else people work, or Acme, and pretending like you're here, but you're not. Attendance is part of your grade. Of course, you'll get some participation for that. So if you're not interacting starting tomorrow, then that will make your participation grade suffer, just so you're aware of that. All right, so we are going to start that part tomorrow. All right, so page 72, exercise 131. That's what we'll be working on. Just a second. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and screen share what we're going to talk about. This is a review. We really already did this before, but we're going to go ahead and review a little bit and work on this again. So we have figurative language, which is what this part is about. Figurative language, this page, and we're going to work over to page 73, working up to exercise 133. So just going to review these figurative language things. So here we have a simile right here on the PowerPoint slide that you should see. Oops, I just made something really big. Over here on the PowerPoint side, we have comparison using words like or as. An example of that is, the old prize fighter looked like a mass of granite. So here, right in the sentence, we have like. All right, that tells me it's a simile. I use the word like to compare it. A metaphor, however, is the same concept. We're still comparing things, but it's implied. There is no like or as in it. So not using like or as. So we'll do the same sentence without saying like or as. The old prize fighter was a mass of granite. So I didn't use like or as. I just implied it. All right, just right there. Obviously, the prize fighter is not a mass of granite. Okay, so it is a comparison, but I'm not using the word like. That's the only difference between simile and metaphor. Simile puts the word like and as right in there. Metaphor leaves those two out. Another figurative language is hyperbole. Hyperbole is a statement which conveys strong exaggeration. All right, this would be like pastor's favorite when you're listening to church services. He likes exaggeration, so hyperboles are his things. We're the whole realm of nature mind that we're a pleasure far too small, or I don't remember what I wrote on that guy's face on top of it, something like that. But that's by Watts. It's actually one of the songs we sing. That's a hyperbole. Obviously, all nature is not mine, and it is vast and great. Personification is our other figurative language, and it's giving human characteristics to inanimate objects. All right, human characteristics to inanimate objects, like death, thou shalt die. All right, well, will death really die? No, it's already dead. Okay, it's a personification of it. We're speaking of death like it's a person, but it's not a person. So it's personification. All right, so that's just a quick review of those four figurative parts of the language that we had looked at, some figurative things that we looked at like way before the quarter ended, but I kind of want to go back and review and work on catching us up a little bit, getting the cobwebs out of our 2-week vacation mind. So here we have page 72, exercise 131. I'm going to give you some seat work time. And we're going to go ahead and work through this like we always do in class, and then we'll answer them here in just a moment. So I'll give you a couple moments to go ahead and read the directions, 131 through 133. Read the directions and then underline. You're starting off with using exact and vivid words here for adjectives for 131. 132, again, exact and vivid words. This one, you're going to add your own extra ones. And then 133, you're going to use this figurative language that we just went through and see if you can figure out what each of these quotes, what kind of figurative language it is. All right, so for those of you who are watching on YouTube Live, I'm going to slide over our seat work sign. It's going to take a few moments to work on some seat work, and then we'll come back to our class here in just a moment. All right, for those of us who are on Zoom, you should be working on your workbook right now. So hopefully each of you have your workbook up. I'm going to close out PowerPoint and give you guys just a moment to work on those exercises. Then I'll unmute you one at a time, and we'll go through our answers together. Hi, no rush. But when you are finished, you can go ahead and just put a little thumbs up or a clap hand symbol. There's some up there, some options for you to put on there. So just go ahead and press that to show up on your screen, thumbs up or clap hands. Again, no rush, but when you are finished, just go ahead and pop that up there so I know that we're kind of getting there. Good job. Sam, you have to unmute yours and tell me what is your symbol supposed to mean? I see the male symbol in there. I see XO. Not sure what the O is supposed to mean. Means what? No cat. All right, I'll have to learn that one apparently. All right, I did hear you. And now I don't, because you muted yourself. But I did. And Travis froze. There you go, now you're unmuted. Unmuted again. And unmuted. You see the little microphone symbol in the corner of your screen? So it has a little red with a slash through it, means you're muted. Huh. I don't know. Maybe it just automatically sets it. Maybe your computer set it up. I don't know. All right, well, YouTube Live, I'm gonna move that slide away from you guys so you're back with us. And we're gonna go through our answers. So I'll just unmute you one at a time. Unless you have it muted yourself as well, you might have to unmute it for me. If I push on it and you don't unmute, you might have to do it for me. All right, so number one, let's go ahead and start with Jessica. Jessica, would you mind telling us which one, read the sentence correctly? Correct. Right, fearful was a better choice over craving. Good, fearful was a better choice. Number two, let's go with Zach. Would you mind telling us, reading your sentence correctly for us? All right, Brock is rather uninformed when it comes to politics. Sorry, I'm repeating you not because you're wrong, but because I'm also recording for YouTube Live. So if you go back to watch this again for some crazy reason, you'll get the right answers when you're there. But you're right. Good job. Travis, let's go ahead and give me number three. Read the sentence for us correctly. I don't think notorious would be the most exact one. Probably need a definition for that. Notorious is more like, you know, like a bad guy. They're notorious for bank robbing. That's the guy's thing. So that'd be more like the notorious. Whereas renowned is just it's not, it doesn't carry a connotation of bad with it, of course. It's just an overall knowledge of. So it's renowned for its form. That's probably the better one. Notorious isn't a bad choice. I think it's probably just knowing its definitions a little bit better. All right, thank you, Phil, for answering that one. Naya, I'm gonna go to you, and you're gonna have to unmute yourself for me. 132 exercise number one. Can you give me some other exact and vivid words we could use in place of smart? Okay. So Samuel Johnson was famous for his bright conversation. You know what? I'm actually going to unmute all of you for this one because I think we could all probably share, there we go, our thoughts on this. So everybody's unmuted. If you're still muted, you need to unmute yourself. There you go. All right. So bright was Anaya's idea. Anybody else have another word for that? Okay. All right, Samuel Johnson was famous for his wise conversation, okay, or intellectual, I think I heard Travis say. All right. I think that was Caleb, totally in the background, and Michaela's nonstop talking. All right, some other words would be like clever or witty. All right, number 2, the stocky, broad-shouldered, muscle-bound patrolman motioned me to pull over to the side of the road. So instead of stocky, broad-shouldered, muscle-bound, how could I take all of those adjectives and make one adjective that could describe him instead? All right, anybody have an idea? All right, buff. All right, buff would work. Michaela, why don't you just unmute yourself when you have a word you want to say, because your brother's a little loud in the background. All right, so buff was a good one. What other words did we hear here? I know I heard somebody say buff, but sturdy. Okay. Burly is another one. Oh, the old, what was that commercial? It was a paper towel commercial, if I remember correctly. It was like the brawny man. Brawny meaning broad and stocky and muscly. All right, number 3. Number 3, Jesse quickly slammed the car door shut. All right, what other word can I use in place of quickly? Oh, hastily is a good one. Yeah, that was a good choice. Anyone else? What else could we say? Michaela, did you kick Caleb out of the room? All right. So what other words? Hastily was a great one by Travis. No other words for quick? Oh, is yours too? All right. Promptly, another one. All right. Well, let's go ahead and number exercise 133. And why don't we have Jeremy? Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practiced to deceive. What kind of figurative language did you feel that was? Not quite. Is that Abel? Or is that Caleb too? That's still Caleb. No. Oh, that was the goat. Travis. All right. Well, who knows what a tangled web we weave? What is that phrase? It's a metaphor. Yeah, because it didn't use like or as. It's a metaphor instead of. I could see why you could think personification. You think it was maybe comparing us to a spider. I could see that, but it's more a metaphor of comparing, of just using instead of like or as to how we would weave life together. All right, number 2. I heard 1,000 blended notes. While in a grove, I sate reclined. I didn't even say I sat reclined. All right, who knows what they think number 2 may be? Anybody? Yeah, right. It's a hyperbole, a little bit of exaggeration. I heard 1,000 blended notes. Did you really hear 1,000 blended notes? I mean, how that even happened? I mean, even on the keyboard of the piano alone, if you lay down all the keys, you can't get 1,000. So obviously that's exaggerated. Number 3. Let's see. I don't think we've had. Who hasn't answered yet? Michaela? And hark, how blithe the throstle sings. He too is no mean creature. What do you think of that one? He too is no mean creature. All right, it is personification, but it is because you know what a throstle is? I know that's a little tricky. That's a big, weird word that we don't really hear much. It's a bird. It's actually not a bird. So the bird is singing, he too is no mean creature. So here we related the bird to a person, a creature. So that's what was happening there. So that's a little bit tricky, a little confusing in that aspect if you don't know the word throstle. All right, but that's what it's talking about. Okay, let's go ahead and see if we could do number 134 together. And then tomorrow we'll come back and we'll review some idioms. So page exercise 134, rewrite these sentences to correct the trite, mixed, or unclear figures of speech. So these again have some more figures of speech in them, but they're unclear. So can you clean them up and make them better? And lost my new option. There it is. All right, so I'll mute y'all so you don't have to worry about anybody hearing what's going on in your house. All right, just a couple minutes for seat work. So hopefully you're working on exercise 134, rewriting your sentence. Are you thinking that? And again, no rush, but as soon as you feel like you've corrected those 2 sentences, the thumbs up or a clap hand symbol up on your screen for me. If you are here, you have 5 minutes left. All right, so let me give you a couple of hints. Number 1, like a good shepherd. I don't necessarily need that phrase, so think of how you could reword that. Another thing that's probably excessive that refers to shepherds probably across all related sentence too. So look at that sentence and try to think of some things like that. Number 2, think of a better way than like jelly. Okay, think of a vivid adjective to describe that. Or like a statue, or like bullets. Like bullets, find another adjective that actually describes that better than trying to give a figurative language into it. Too many figurative language phrases make people get lost in what you're trying to say. So the point of this is to try to see those figurative language spots and go, do I really need that, or could I say something more vivid, more exact, to really tell the person what I really want them to see and hear? Like bullets could be a clear picture, but there's probably something more clearly stated that you could say instead of that. So maybe find a better way to describe that without having to use figurative language for that. Figurative language has a place. It really does, but too many times in one sentence just gets people lost or confused. So let's see if you can find a way to be more clean and clear about that. All right, is everybody kind of done with 1 and 2? Yeah. Kind of getting there. All right, let me unmute all of you. So if you don't come unmuted, then you need to unmute your screen to join us. All right, so number 1. Do I have a volunteer who might want to try to rewrite number 1 for us? Number 1. Anyone want to volunteer on that? All right, let's go with Sam. I can't see your face, so I can't tell if you're really with us still. So why don't you try number 1 for us after you do your mic. I think there's like still a lot of figurative language comparisons in there. Like maybe Like if you're going to take out like a flock of little lambs and take that out, they probably don't need to be relating shepherd or anything like that in there. Let's try to send this without that at all. Let's see if we can restate this without saying, comparing it to a flock. Can we do that? Mm-hmm. We probably should just end there. Maybe a little more words. The children gathered around their teacher, maybe like who carefully counted them, each one, and then led them all into the schoolhouse. So I can just make that more straightforward without all the figurative speech, figurative language in there confusing it. If I wanted to keep one phrase, maybe just keep one, because I think it gets too lost. There's a few of them. I could just do like a flock of little lambs and children. Just compare the children to that, and then move on without comparing the teacher to just continually bringing in comparisons. Like people can't follow that thought. Gets a little bit wordy. All right, number 2. Who found some other words to put in place of like jelly or like bullets? Anybody find some better adjectives that were more clear and concise as opposed to going to a figurative language to do that? Let's go with Travis first, then we'll come to Chloe. Travis, go ahead. What'd you find? Okay, good. That was a good way to pull those out and just write and direct. Chloe, what did you find? Sorry about that. Okay, barking out his lines directly. That was a good way to do that. Anyone else have a different phrase they might have used or a different adjective that was more clear? Those were good options. All right, so barking out them like bullets was more like brisk and authoritative voice. Is kind of what we're trying to really trade at people. So we could just use those words instead. Like bullets is still a little bit like you hope to follow what you're thinking, but you could just say it more clearly. All right, you guys have any questions on that? I know. Gotta love and flip English. It's just a simple stuff by now. All right, so I'll be adding some literature back in as the week goes along. Right now, we just wanted to kind of just start up a little bit carefully, while slowly just review some things and build back in. I'm probably going to do all of your quizzes and hoping to probably do them all PowerPoint. So like when I screen shared my PowerPoint slides here, that's how my quizzes will be, like a 5 to 10 question quiz like that. And they'll just do it right there during class. And then either you can take a picture of it and send it to me, or just hold it up to the screen. We probably will be going off of your character to tell me the grade of it, because you'll have to grade those yourself. So we will go off your own character to do what's right, which shouldn't be too complicated, guys, right? So we'll probably do them like that. Sometimes maybe I'll put one up there on ThinkWave, and you'll have to open up the file, then answer. If I put them in Word, and you're working on your computer, you can enable that and type over top of it, and then send it back to me. Otherwise, you can just get a piece of paper and number it 1 to whatever answers, take a picture, and upload it to me. Okay? Anybody have questions with how that part works in class now? That good? Okay. All right. So your homework this week, there are 2 things you should be working on. The first one is your essay. So 5-paragraph essay about that rhyme of the mariner, about the wedding guest and why he's wiser from what he heard from the mariner. That's due Friday, and that's supposed to be an essay of, how many words did we say for that? Oh no, it's 5 paragraphs. No word count. 5 paragraphs. And then the second thing is your book report. It's not due this week, but you should still be reading it, hopefully. Your book report is due April 10th. All right, and again, you're going to have to upload that. The instructions for that are also in ThinkWave. I don't know if that's something you feel really pertinent to see, but I could show you that. I think the information about that is there as well. So we have the information about the mariner right there, and then your full-page critical book report is due April 10th, so you want to be sure you're working on that. I didn't put stuff in the description. It's on the dashboard then instead. Okay, but that's up there on ThinkWave, so you can keep track of those things like that. All right, any questions with those 2 things? No, y'all are good? All right, well, that's your homework, so to speak. And honestly, hopefully your mariner's done. Just upload it to me and be done with it before Friday. If not, that is actually homework for you. The book report, if you're not finished, finish reading it this week. You've got this week to finish reading it, a little bit of next week to finish, and then get that thing typed out and send up to me as well. All right, so our grades, again, as a reminder, 60% of your grade will be class participation and homework, which happens really pretty much here in class. 20% will be projects like your essays. Writing projects are writing assignments are almost always a project assignment. So if you like to skip the writing assignments, you will lose 20% of your grade by skipping them. And the last 20% of your grade this quarter will be quizzes and tests. All right, hopefully none of that will be too difficult. Hopefully we'll keep it nice and simple and close out our homeschooling career like this for the year. For those of you who are seniors, I am terribly sorry that your senior year is ending like this. This is such a weird thing. I know the quarantine's been extended to April 30th, so that does kind of hamper some more stuff, so I'm sorry for that. Hopefully, though, it'll let up in May, maybe we can come back. But definitely, I think the pastor was talking about maybe like the graduation, just handing out tickets and staying within the number that they recommend, and maybe possibly doing like a simple ceremony with just some really close family and just you guys. So at least we can maybe do that if the quarantine's still going on that long. But hopefully it'll be done by then, and we can still enjoy the senior trip and still get graduation in. So that's what I'm praying for. If not, maybe I'll buy you all the t-shirt that says senior with toilet paper rolls for the 2020, because I just think it's really funny but dreadful at the same time. I don't know why I find that picture so funny, but it is funny. And I'm sorry that you guys are the graduating class who gets to be remembered as the 2020 toilet paper rolls. Maybe it's not funny. I'm the only one who finds it funny. Jeremy at least finds it funny. All right. Anyway, that's it for today, class. I will see you all tomorrow. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, the rest of your class. I hope it goes smooth. I hope you enjoy your lunch right now. Nice and chill and relax. And I will see you all tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Bye.